What's up, everybody? It is, damn, I probably should have looked at the date. No, I'm just playing. It is June the 9th, 2024, and this is another edition of the Now Mind You podcast manga edition.
Yo,
We are your hosts. I'm Matt,
I'm Bryce.
and we are without TJ today. He had a personal thing going on today, but he will be back next week. With that said, we got a pretty full table for you guys today. Today we will be going through Hajime no Ippo, Sakamoto Days, Chainsaw Man, Kaiju number 8, and Jujutsu Kaisen. And our topic of the week this week is what, Bryce?
Oh, what was a good anime that lived up to the hype but didn't get a second season?
Yep. So without any further ado, since we got so much, we're gonna just jump straight into it. Our first one is Hajime no Ippo. We get Hajime no Ippo, chapter 1458, entitled Mashiba Chant. Basically, this actually was a really short chapter. Funny enough, talking to TJ outside the chat and stuff, he definitely was upset about it. But um at the end, we pretty much are pulled back into the fight. Mashiba's still fighting Rosario. But this is kind of the time in between the rounds. Mashiba just had a really incredible round, and pretty much the whole crowd is, cheering for him. He has literally the entire building behind him. And they start the round. Mashiba walks to the center of the ring, and Rosario is just standing in the corner with his head down, hands down. And we don't know what's going on. And the chapter literally ends that quick. Uh, we did get um, some sort of a preview to what type of person he is. Um, when he was talking about it isn't fair that he has to suffer and nobody else does, and all this other stuff, as far as his weight cutting and things of that nature are concerned. So maybe this is another one of those things where he's like angry and he feels like it's not fair that he's losing. And true enough, he's probably going to tweak out. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Um, but we can go on to our next one, which is TJ's favorite manga currently, Sakamoto Days. Bryce, you want to take us into Sakamoto?
Sure, let's go into Sakamoto Days. So, basically opening up with it, we're back to the order. Um, I'm not good with names as TJ is, but please humor me. We're back with our favorite duo, Hammerhead and Goth Chick is what I'm
Shishiba and Osaragi.
Shishima and Osaragi. They're
Hmm.
meeting the leader of the order, and he's informs them that I got two new order members, and we're just gonna beat them. So they're taken to I'm guessing like a pachinko spot where they meet one person who's outside singing, and what's her name? Susurabi, you said?
Osaragi.
Osaragi kind of is enthralled with him, while Sashibo goes in and meets the guy at the Pachinko machine, and we find out that he is billions of dollars in debt to the damn work. Like this dude is basically working for free, um, and his name is Torres. And we have this very interesting spot between them, just killing time. With Sakamoto Days, if somebody has very discreet details to their face, they're gonna be a problem later. Um,
Hmm.
so Torres asks Sashiba for money. Sashiba comes around with the hammer, but Torres ends up fucking up his hammer or the black of it. And Osaragi outside is listening to what's this guy's name? Tanabata's
I
music.
don't know how to say dude's name either.
Tanabata's music, and she mentions how sad it is. He takes insult with it, and I guess hits her with a sonic boom of some sort. It kind of fucks her up. She flops to the ground. She wakes back up, and she's about to pick a fight with him. But these are the two new order members. This is going to be interesting. Shasiba and Osaragi are very clearly outnumbered right now. Oh, and also it's weird because all their panels is the fucking sniper rifle head. So of course, I forgot that that dude is here too.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
That shit
Because
was
at
fun.
first I thought I was tweaking.
It's just like random spots of this fucking sniper rifle. It's like you completely forget that he's there. Um, but they go, they were transferred back to Sakamoto, who's chowing down some ramen, and he remembers that it's Hannah's birthday, and so immediately he's like, "Yo, I'm not staying here. I gotta get a cake for my daughter. I want to see it. I want to see her happy." So, um, of course, because they got the master disguise with them, uh, Nagamo disguises them and have them go into town to buy the cake, and just so happen to run into the order mid walk. I think it was Shin. Yeah, it was Shin that bumped into Sashiba, and of course, there's kind of a dialogue back and forth between them about like, yo, don't make any sudden moves, don't stand out, don't make them notice that you know, don't freak out, otherwise they're going to notice and it's going to be a problem. And of course, Torres looks back and he's noticed. So going into the next episode of Sakamoto Days will be very interesting how this plays out, how strong these guys are. I mean, they are clearly outnumbered. I don't know how that's going to play out. Maybe Sushiba and Osaragi switch sides. It seems like they have more um, aligned with the Sakamoto group than they could with the Order. I mean, they don't even like the boss. Um, Overall, it's just a good chapter. I think, Sakamoto Days does a good job with like these transitional chapters, getting back to like the action very quickly. Um, Not even really leaving room for like, just I don't know, like how to put it, like exposition type chapters. Just really simple. Hey, these are the two new order members. Let's go kill these guys. They just so happen to run into them on the way, which makes sense, of course, because they know where Sakamoto's store is. So, you know, um, just a good chapter. I wouldn't say it's a crazy chapter. Just standard Sakamoto. Enjoyable, to the point, quick. Gotta love it. Matt, what you think?
Yeah, I agree. Sakamoto Days does a really good job of just like you said, getting to the point, getting us in, getting us out, and getting us to excuse me, getting us to what's important. Um, they always do a really good job of establishing what the plot for the next arc is going to be, setting up the players, and then you know we take off from there. So the hunt for Sakamoto begins, basically. We'll see
Yeah,
what happens now. Now that Sakamoto has to face the order, and they still got to figure out what they're doing with X Slur or whatever he's called at this point. Obviously they got to figure that out too. But yeah, man, this was another good chapter. I mean, Sakamoto Days very rarely disappoints. I literally cannot think of a time off the top of my head.
it is.
Yeah. Um, shit.
Yep,
Well,
yep,
yeah, we got Chainsaw Man.
yep.
Ironically, his chapter is called Super Smooth.
Nah, nah, you didn't have to do that.
They
You didn't have to do that.
they didn't have to do that. I didn't name the chapter, Bryce. I didn't write it.
Let's do this.
I'm gonna just I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. Keep it to the point. Um, God damn. So last chapter, Denji wanted to get his dick cut off, and
Oh, random.
Yasa Odu goes and finds a knife. And she didn't find a knife, I think, as much as she picked up a straw and used her powers and turned it into a knife. Uh, so she was like, losing your dick, you got to straighten it out. And she was like, wait. So now he's like, well, wait a minute. Are you really going to cut it off? And she's like, yeah, like, don't start being scared now. Pull it out. And he's like, well, no, wait a minute. And all I'm going to tell you is she ultimately ends up reaching in there to, I guess, pull his penis out of his pants and does not. And they end up making out. And, you know, Denji ain't had no experience, and he just had him an experience. I'm gonna put it like that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That's where the chapter ends, and there's a lot of like it's pretty layered, especially within the sense of the thing that Asa slash Yodu. There's a lot of conflicting feelings because they're basically two different people that inhabit the same body. So there's some bleed over in terms of feelings, emotions, and things of that nature. And excuse me, within that bleed over is feelings for Denji. And we know that Asa feels some sort of way about Denji and about the Chainsaw Man, but obviously so does Yoru. So I don't know. There's definitely a lot of things at play, no pun intended, as far as Asa Yoru specifically. Um, but hey, maybe Denji will have the clarity that he needed now, and we'll see what happens at this point. Can we find little Makima? Can we do that?
Anything.
Can
Anything.
we?
Oh, anything.
I just feel the last thing I'm gonna say before I pass it to you, Bryce, which is like I think I said in the group chat, like this chapter was wild, but I'm thankful for Fujimoto's editor because it
It
would
would
have been crazier.
would have been crazier. Yeah.
It would have been crazier. And the fact that we know that is also pretty sad.
Yep.
Um, maybe not sad, but Nick Fujimoto, a wild boy, man. I'm gonna just pass it to you, Bryce.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna just repeat that sentiment. Fujimoto, you a wild dude, bro. You a wild motherfucker, bro.
This coming from Bryce, by the way.
This is coming from me. Now, look, I knew he wasn't gonna get his dick cut off. Well, I'm pretty sure he wasn't gonna get his dick cut
And he
off.
said, "Well, okay, I wasn't positive, but
But to go there with it, and everybody talk about, oh, Fujimoto love Evangelion. I don't give a fuck.
Bryce,
Come on now. That's why you wildin'.
right,
You wildin'. You wildin'.
Bryce,
You wildin'. I don't even like Evangelion. So I definitely didn't. I definitely don't approve of you just saying, hey, I'ma just do a little old to one of my favorite anime. Of all the things that Evangelion has, of all the
mm-hmm,
moments,
mm-hmm.
that what does this have to do with anything?
Hey, I'm gonna just tell you, this ain't never happened in Evangelion.
You know what, Matt? Here's one thing. I'm gonna tell you like this. I appreciate you going into the details and the story behind this goddamn chapter.
I
Because
had to
I'm
make
gonna tell
something
you
out of
something.
it, Bryce.
What'd you say?
I had to make something out of it.
Well, I appreciate you because I ain't get shit. I ain't get shit. None of that. I was
Okay.
thrown back. I was like, ain't no fucking way. And then like I had to stop reading it, and I was like, I gotta. I don't know what TJ talking about. And then I read the first chapters. I was like, let me stop because I'm at work. And then I got on my break. I was like, I gotta do this. I gotta finish it. And yeah, what a finish. What a goddamn finish. You wildin', Fujimoto. You wildin'. Please just let's get back to Makima. Please. Let's get back to Lil Sis. It's the most random. This is this is like filler, but it's so wild that we don't even think about it. But I guess it's not filler because it's like a relationship between Asa and Shane and Denji. But at the same time, I don't know, man. It's just some wild shit, bro. It's wild as hell. Just wild. That's all I gotta say. It's a fucking wild chapter. Like, what the fuck? You know
Hmm.
what's crazy? That like the puke thing in the first part, that was crazy, but at least it was funny. This was wild. This was wild.
Things happen, Bryce.
Nah, I don't even want to hear that.
Okay.
I don't even want to hear that.
All right. I
We didn't
respect
even
that.
have to. We didn't have to see it. We didn't have to witness it. It could have been hinted at. We got the whole shebang.
Oh shebang. Hey yo.
Whole shebang. With the hand on the. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next one. What's the
All
next one?
right. You good, Bryce? You sure you don't got
I'm done, bro.
you got no
I'm
final
done.
thoughts? You don't got nothing else you wanna
Uh,
you got nothing
speaking
else you wanna release?
speaking of quick finishes,
Oh
let's
my
go to
god.
Jujutsu Kaisen. It was only
No,
seven
no, no,
pages.
no, 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 no. We got Kaiju. We
Oh,
got
we going to
Kaiju.
Kaiju?
We got
Oh,
Kaiju
okay.
next.
Okay.
Unless you wanna unless you would like to, yeah, you know what? You go ahead, Bryce. You was a little more traumatized than me. You go ahead and take us into Jujutsu Kaisen.
Um, this is just I mean, well, we should talk about this now. Not Fujimoto. Gege is sick. So we're gonna be on I believe, a 3 week break. Um, and we only got 7 chapters this week. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
7 pages. So, going into it, there was a domain expansion. Um, and it looks like, what are we calling the combination of Yuta and Goro? Uh, Garuda.
Mm-hmm.
Garuda pretty much shrinks the domain expansion into the size of a basketball. And pretty much this is just kind of a battle for time. Yuta needs to survive the domain expansion for 3 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
while uh, Sukuna needs to destroy the domain and expand it out to kill everyone in less than 3 minutes. And so this is when the battle kind of begins. Um, and they kind of have like a quick little fight, and then it looks like that it ends pretty quickly actually, because there's like a plip, and then we're transferred over to Rika, who's sobbing over Yuta. So I'm assuming that Sakuna got him, which means the domain is about to expand, and Yuji and Toto is potentially in trouble. But he is tired, and this fight's gonna keep going. This is definitely the finale of the fight. I think I've made my peace with that. If it's not, this is just crazy. But yeah, the fight continues. Still not looking good for our protagonist. Um, yeah, Matt, Trent, passing it to you.
A few things I noted. I thought that at one point when Yuta was being Gojo or whatever, I felt like Gojo kind of looked like Yuta a little bit. Also, I think I misread or maybe I interpreted the Yuta thing differently. But then again, I guess there was no other way for me to recognize it. But the way I saw it was not necessarily maybe that Yuta was dead, but like he can't get back in that body. That's
Mm,
probably done.
mm,
Like maybe it was X amount of time, but could be dead. But also I know that um Rika being upset about Yuta is really not good news for anybody. So, let's just hope Shorty don't come out there and just get the swinging indiscriminately.
right.
You know,
Like, you think Rika can repossess somebody? She like, hey, yo, Yuji, I'm
who
with you
knows? I
now.
mean, Rika's the queen of curses, so there's still like, a level of power within Rika that we have to recognize and possibly see what can happen, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But like you said, we here now, so let's see what's gonna go down. Last but not least, did you have any final thoughts, Bryce? I'm sorry.
No, no. Nope.
Right. Well, our final one, we got Kaiju number 8. Kaiju number 8 was actually pretty good, but before I get into this, I'm gonna say this. I have been converted. Our stance was a certain way. I don't speak necessarily for TJ in this regard, so for this, I'll just speak on my own feelings. Um, but Bryce brought up a really good point about how many chapters we've actually had of Kaiju number 8 and how much has been covered within said amount of chapters. We're not even at 110 chapters.
Yeah,
And I think another thing that recontextualized Bryce my view of the series is watching the anime currently as well.
yeah.
And it's like, man, if you really think about it, even from like within the standards of like how far ahead a manga is of an anime and stuff, it's like they not too far behind.
Nah, not at all. They're
Is
already at the at. Well, I ain't gonna spoil that, but just I guess that
yeah,
ain't a
but
spoil.
they
They're already at the fucking raid where Kaiju number 10 shows up, and it's like, wait,
hmm yeah,
what
that's
what
literally the next
episode is this?
episode.
Yeah, no, it already dropped. They're already
Oh
fighting
yeah, yeah, yeah. That dropped what today, yesterday?
yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Big, yeah. The 10 just the fight with 10 just started, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. At the end of the last episode, I didn't watch it yesterday, but at the end of the last episode, they was flying in. I was like, I said had the same thought. I said, damn, wait a minute.
yeah.
Like, y'all, how he here now?
But if we think about it, bro, like the streamline of this manga is crazy because you know they probably got to this what in like 30, 40 chapters. We didn't feel it. We
Yeah, bro,
didn't
this is
feel it.
episode 9. They're
Yeah,
9 episodes in on the
exactly.
but I say all that to say, in terms of everything we've been given, we've been given a wealth of both. I would a new term. I won't call it a new term, but a term I think we could use is like community development. Like not just character development, but we got community development. We got a feeling of like what these troop people are like. You know what I'm saying? We also have been given like a lot of background on a bunch of different characters and what their motivations and things like that are. And everybody kind of so far has got their chance to get their box set. So we at the last person. Um, with that said, I was very happy with this chapter and I'm happy with the direction Kaiju's going in now. So let me get into it. We got chapter what did I just say? Chapter 108, Kaiju number 8, and this is propagating despair. So 8 is fighting 9. 9 has grown a second head and a second kaiju basically um from without his body and has split off. So now kaiju number 8 is fighting 9 and 2 at the same time. Um as kaiju number 8 is fighting, he's realizing that everything he does, he can only pull it one time because right after he does it, Kaiju number 9 learns it. So Kaiju number 9 is trying to entice him to do more and more of his moves so that he can learn the moves because he's familiar with Shinomiya's troop style, but he's not familiar with um uh he's not familiar with what is this guy's name?
Uh, um, I know his damn name. Damn it. Okay, give me one
Uh,
second.
Anyway, she's not familiar with the altered version of this troop style that Kafka's been using. However, you know what I'm saying? He's burning the candle on both ends. He's running out of time. We also flash over Hoshina. We
Oh
also
shit.
flash back over and we see that Hoshina is thinking back to what they were saying about Kafka, and basically the longer Kafka stays in his kaiju form, uh basically he'll be stuck permanently. And currently he's been in his form for over 30 minutes. And even though Hoshina was trying to let him know, he's just like, it's nothing, like realistically, there's really nothing he can do about that at that point. Like he could, even if he wanted to turn back, this really would not be the time to do that shit. Like he will die. So he's attempting to pretty much put an end to this, put an end to everything with 2 and 9 who decide to reform. They end up hurting him, and his core gets exposed. Number 9 grabs his core, or 92, whatever the fuck you want to call them, 11, shit. They grab his core, and right when it looks like all is lost, Mina blows his arm off, and she's like, "Yo, I'm right by your side," which is something that has consistently been a theme, especially specifically with those two. But if you really pay attention to it, it's kind of always been a theme, a camaraderie type of theme within Kaiju number 8 as a series, even within its other sub characters. Like, that I'm right by your side is kind of a consistent thing. So that was cool. This definitely is all full-fledged final battle vibes. It's interesting because I feel like a lot of things are sort of in that final battle season. So it'll also be interesting to see where we land after we finish everything, once some of these series start to come to a close. I'm interested in seeing how this fight is gonna finish. Um, I want, if I could selfishly, I want more of Hoshina and 10. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean shit, they on the field, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and maybe this could turn into one of those situations where it's like, everybody kind of comes in to help with that final boss. But at the same time, I do got to still consider they are still battling a bunch of other kaiju. So this final battle is taking place simultaneously while other battles are happening. Um, but yeah, Bryce, I'll pass it over to you.
No, I think you definitely hit it right on the head. Just even the difference between Kafka and Kaiju number nine. Kaiju number nine, pretty much kind of by himself. He uses people or uses even Kaiju. Even the relationship with the clone, the Kikuru clone, just kind
Hmm.
of has him as a dad, and just kind of is like battling for his acceptance. Using Kaiju number two is like he absorbed it and it's just kind of pulling out of its body, wanting to dissect human beings and shit like that. Where Kafka is kind of fighting for other people, and the real reason why he joined in the first place was to be by his childhood friend's side when she's on the battlefield. And lo and behold, he's battling these two, and who comes and save him? His childhood friend. Um, yeah, this definitely does give me the final battle vibe. And everyone just coming in to save him and be backup for him. Um, yeah, no, this was just a good chapter. Um, and he's probably not going to turn back into a human, but at this point, I don't even think it really matters. It would just be more like personal aesthetic. I think they all accept him. They all don't care at this point. I mean, shit, he practically fucking on television saving the fucking world. Everyone's going to love Kaiju number 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a good chapter. I think we're kind of getting back to the motions of things. I think at this point, um, that was like the first time we've ever really got filler in Kaiju number 8, and that's what I was
Mhm.
just more so realizing. I think because I was watching the anime too, and like how quickly it was moving.
Exactly. That
How
changed how I thought about it because I said, and the other thing that we've all said before is the every 2 week thing is tough
it is.
because you're still giving us a standard length despite the fact that we waiting every 2 weeks, and then you got those occasional art chapters that they would give us. So now you really waited 4 weeks. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So, but when I really sat back and thought about it after you brought it up to me, I was like, man, they really have covered a lot, really have given a lot of detail and background on characters and people that we really shouldn't even have gave a damn about whole time. So,
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Solid chapter. I think this was the first time we ever really got something that felt like it was dragging a little bit of
mhm.
filler. But it looks like we're back on track. And honestly, the way Kaiju number 8 goes, I wouldn't be surprised if this is over in like 5 chapters. So maybe we're getting to the kaiju epilogue,
Yeah.
which is interesting. Like, and then I have a question: how long is the kaiju series gonna run? Because I feel like I'm just curious how far this season's gonna fucking go. Um,
I
but
think
that's
I think they got like a 12 episode joint. So they'll probably, I mean, this season will probably end with that raid. It'll probably be the next 2 episodes will be them like probably finish with Hoshina versus 10.
and
It
then
might be the
kaiju
last
number
fight of
8
the season.
he gets found out. Kafka gets
Yeah.
found.
And then next season will be figuring that out.
Yeah, so maybe like 2 seasons then.
Yeah, maybe.
Damn. All right, word.
Well, let's get into our topic of the week, which is good anime or great anime that never got a second season. Do you want me to start, Bryce, or you got
Go
it?
ahead. Go ahead.
I only got three. Um, and some of these I kind of felt. Uh, one of which I found the manga. The other two I never jumped and found the manga to to go see if I could find more on it. The first one was Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah.
Uh, I didn't fuck with Dead Man Wonderland when I first saw it. It also used to just come on at a very OC ass time. So, but yeah, man, I the first time I saw Dead Man Wonderland, I didn't really care for it. But once I think they put it on like Netflix or something at one point, and I got a chance to like stream it, then I kind of understood what I was going, what was going on. But they never got a second season. The second one, I feel like I might have stole this one from Bryce. Um, but goddamn, man, gangster. They didn't
Yeah.
even finish. They didn't even finish the season.
Yeah.
The first season didn't even finish. Like,
Damn.
damn,
You
man.
got it. You got it.
And my last one was the saga of Tanya the Evil. Never got a second
You're gonna
season.
give us another one. I thought that. I hope it come back. What the?
They
I would.
announced a second season over 4 years ago. We still ain't got it. We ain't got no update, nothing.
Damn.
So as it stands at the time of this recording, there has been no second season. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of rocking with it based off that.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. We had this. We got the same list, man. I had Doug Man Wonderland. I
Yeah.
didn't pick a gangster. I was gonna cheat and say Kenichi because really, technically, it was 2 seasons, but they stopped before the shit got hot.
Bro, that shit got like
That's the hurt.
78,000 episodes, bro. You can't
Go
say
to
no damn
fucking
Kenichi.
man. Don't even, mother. Don't even.
How many episodes of Kenichi is it, Bryce?
50.
Then you can't say Kenichi. 50 is
Nah, man.
50.
Nah,
It
man.
can't make Bryce. There's no single season of anything that's 50 chapters. I mean, it's 50 fucking episodes. That shit
It's
got like three. Even if it
it
did two
still
seasons, it
hurt
was
to me,
24.
nigga. It still hurt to me.
Bryce, we talking about second seasons. They got a second season.
They didn't get to cook though.
Oh man.
They ain't get to cook, nigga.
I get you.
Nah, bro. You don't
That-
get me. You don't get me, man. You don't know how much that motherfucking hurt, nigga.
You got two seasons, G.
No, it wasn't. No, man.
You
Oh,
said it's not enough.
it ain't enough. It ain't enough.
Damn.
You right about gangster though. You know what? I'm gonna add another one to that. 91 days. They could have kept going.
Mm.
They could have kept going. It would have been weird, but they could have kept going.
But I also just felt like, I mean, shit, the story ended, you
Did
know?
it?
Yeah, yeah,
Nah. It had one of
mostly.
them open ending types. It was an open ender. You could do anything with an open ender.
I mean, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's it, man. But what Dead Man Wonderland was definitely my number one on the list. It was weird though what they did because like when it was on Adult Swim, it was like they did like with B not BET after dark. No, like BET used to do where they like change up words and shit, but it was
Hmm.
so clearly changed, and it's just like I don't want to watch this.
Yeah,
So
I think it was just the presentation of it is just what threw me off. So,
yeah,
uh, but yeah,
yeah.
man. Well, we'll wrap it up here. This has been another episode of the Now Mind You podcast. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Next week we got a pretty thin docket. What we will have for you guys next week is Hajime no Ippo. We will also have Chainsaw Man, and we will have Sakamoto Days. We won't have Jujutsu Kaisen until about the end of the month. And we won't get Kaiju number 8 for another 2 weeks. So next week we just got Chainsaw Man, uh, Hajime no Ippo, and Jujutsu Kaisen. Our topic of the week next week will be Has there ever been a anime or manga that you just could not get behind the main character, or you couldn't help but root for the villain? So
Ooh,
I can think of one off top.
yeah.
With that said, thank you guys so much for rocking with us. This has been another episode of the Now Mind You podcast, manga edition. You can follow us all on social media, wherever you like to get your social media. You can follow me at Matt Hambrick. That's MatThambric, Bryce.
They can follow me at Ashe_Onsa. That's AXE_ONCA. Bay. And where can they find TJ?
They can
Oh,
find TJ at TUSS4_skate. That's TUSS4_skate. Thank you guys so much. You can find us all at Now Mind You Podcast, wherever you like to get your podcast and wherever you like to get your social media. We'll see you guys over in combat. If not, see you next week. Peace out.
peace.